Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Scarpati. I've known WIP Radio's Big Daddy Graham since 1979, when we were both starting out as stand-up comics. I went on to open up Comedy Cabaret, and he later became a radio DJ, and we recently reunited on his show at 5:20 a.m. Here it is.
Well, on the line with me right now is Dr. Andrew Scarpati, who I've known for many, many years. I've worked for him many years. He's going to have a big article on himself in the Bucks County Courier-Times on Friday. He's a hypnotist. And welcome to the program there, Doctor.
Good morning, Big Daddy Graham. Thanks so much for having me on. I have some great news I want to share with you and your listeners. Real important things that can be helpful and positive in many ways. So I told Mike, your producer, I woke up at 3:30 wide awake. I go, oh my God, I still have to wait 2 hours to talk to these guys. I'm so pumped.
Well, you could have called me then and went back to bed.
I will next time. I love talking about hypnosis, and I appreciate you having me on.
Well, I happen to have a friend who hasn't smoked now. Oh, geez, it's at least 15 years, thanks to you.
Oh, wow, that's great. Oh, yeah, I love helping people with this stuff. Now, did you see the video with the Action News thing?
When you hypnotized Don Pollock?
Yeah. So that has gotten a lot of traction. I hypnotized him, and he couldn't remember his last name. I gave him the suggestion he wouldn't remember his last name. So when he closed out the segment, he couldn't say his last name. And that's on comedycabaret.com and my other website, drscarpati.com. If anybody wants to see it, it's really a very entertaining, interesting, informative piece that, tells about hypnosis as well as you see that at the end of the show. He's not on TV anymore, so I don't know if he got fired because of that or not.
No, you lost him his job. That was very, very cruel of you, Dr. Scarpati. It was. How did you get into this?
I got into hypnosis. I was just kind of curious about it, years ago. And I was actually afraid of going to a hypnotist because I thought they're going to be controlling my mind. Because, if you see some of the things, sometimes, are they really controlling your mind? So I took a self-hypnosis class. I go, okay, I can do that. By the way, I'm teaching self-hypnosis and meditation classes.
Wait a minute. That means you hypnotize yourself?
Yes, self-hypnosis.
I've never heard of self-hypnosis.
Are you serious?
No.
Well, actually, there's a saying in the hypnosis business, all hypnosis is really self-hypnosis. Because ultimately, first of all, let me backtrack a second. Let me tell you what hypnosis is, because some people aren't really sure what it is. Let me ask you this. Do you ever think you've been hypnotized or in a hypnotic state?
Yeah, a girl with a beautiful rack. My eyes go right there every single time, Dr. Scarpati.
Well, yeah, because, the hypnotic state is simply a focused mental state. So all your listeners right now, a focused mental state, such as daydreaming, is a form of a focused mental state. Prayer is a form of a focused mental state. Meditation is a form of a focused mental state. Now, how many times has this happened to you or somebody you know, where either you're watching TV or you're on the computer and you're so into something, someone calls your name and you don't initially hear it, or you don't hear it at all?
I got to tell you, describe this to me. And we're talking to Dr. Andy Scarpati, who you can, by the way, how can folks get a hold of you?
drscarpati.com, that's drscarpati.com, or comedycabaret.com, my other company. Both the information is on there about my stage hypnosis shows, which are amazing. If you've never seen
I've seen you do it. I'm going to ask you the key question in a second about that. But before I do that, you were talking about self-hypnosis and kind of like being in trances. I swear this happens to me too much, where I get in my car and I'm going...
You drive right by an exit you're supposed to turn at, right?
Well, that, no. But even worse than that, I get from point A to point B, and maybe about 3 minutes away from point B, I don't even remember how I got there. It's really strange. It seems to happen. And this is kind of probably scary for people who are going to be sharing a road with me in a couple of minutes. It happens to me driving. And that has happened to me often where I go right by the exit. And if that happens to you on a turnpike, you're screwed. You go there, 15 minutes before you can turn around. Now, what is that? Is that just daydreaming? What is that when that happens to you? I've lost Andy. He's gone.
I'm ready.
Oh, there you go. All right. I lost you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I had lost you for a second. What is that? Is that just daydreaming, or is that something deeper than that?
Well, no. Actually, it's very similar. It's basically the same thing. We call it driving hypnosis. That's what it's called in the business, all right? And it's very common. It's a common thing. Here's how you.
But isn't that dangerous?
No, because your subconscious mind is actually taking you to where you need to go. Now, if you go totally insane and you're not paying any attention whatsoever, well, that's a different story. But our subconscious mind, you're making a good point, Ed. Our subconscious mind runs our habits and our emotions. This is why hypnotherapy is such a great tool, because basically what you're saying is exactly why hypnosis is good. Now, listen to this, and I'll explain it. If you have a habit or something you want to change about yourself, let's say you have negative thoughts, you have an emotional block, you have a fear or a phobia of some kind that's driving you insane. I've helped so many people with fears and phobias. Here's why it's good. Once you get into the hypnotic state, then the hypnotherapist, if he knows what he's doing, can help you get from point A to point B to where you want to be. So if you have a fear or a phobia, it's in your subconscious that's controlling that. The same with your emotions.
What would you say is the number one thing you've helped people out? Would it be weight? Would it be smoking?
Well,
gambling?
Smoking is the top of the list. And I'll tell you what's great about hypnosis and smoking. If you go to a doctor and you want to smoke, what do they want to do? They want to give you a pill, a patch, or something like that. If you go to a doctor and you're anxious, what do they want to do? They want to give you a pill. I can accomplish the same thing with people without pills. Using the power of their own mind. We're all blessed with this God-given ability to be able to relax and tap into our own mind if we choose to. Now, a question people always ask me is, who can be hypnotized? Well,
that was the question I was saving for last, because that's always the thing you hear about hypnosis. Can anyone be hypnotized, or do you have to want to be hypnotized?
Okay, here's how it works. Anyone with an IQ of 70 or above.
Then I'm out.
Yeah, well, you and most of the politicians are going to be out.
Okay.
But anybody with 70 or above can be placed in a beautiful state of relaxing hypnosis if they want to. If they want to. I mean, if you don't want to be hypnotized, you're not. Because you have to listen. It's a cooperative event. And the reason it's so powerful is because if the person has a problem that they want to overcome, and they're having a hard time doing it themselves, that's why hypnotherapy is great. I love it. I absolutely love working with somebody, helping them get from point A to point B. And the same thing with the stage shows. When I do my comedy hypnosis shows, it's hypnosis, but it's the entertainment side of hypnosis. It's still suggestion.
Yet the people that get up on that stage have to want to be able to be hypnotized.
Exactly. When I say that, I just asked for volunteers when they do. By the way, my next show is March 22nd at the Bucks County Comedy Cabaret. I do have to mention that. March 22nd, Bucks County Comedy Cabaret.
That's the Doylestown Comedy Cabaret, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I always call it the Doylestown. It's like, I swear, Dr. Scarpati, I call that one of the best comedy clubs in East Coast history.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it really is. It's the only club I still work.
I know.
That's it.
I know, and we're grateful that you do. You come in once or twice a year.
That's it.
And we clear the deck when you're coming in. We love when you come by. You always bring a nice crowd. Your audiences are nice, and we really appreciate that.
Can I hypnotize you into paying me more?
No.
Because you don't want to be. DrScarpati.com. That's DR, no little period at the end of it. DrScarpati.com.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
I need to add one more thing because it seemed like you're wrapping up. I do these self-hypnosis and meditation seminars, and listen to this. They're unconditionally guaranteed. I've never heard anybody do this before. If you come to one of my seminars and you're not 100% satisfied, we give you your money back.
A money back guarantee? Now I know you self-hypnotize yourself. No, but what does that? No, but what does that mean? Somebody comes to you and they want to stop smoking.
Well, that's different. That's a clinical. That's a one-on-one clinical thing.
Okay,
that's a little different from the seminars. The seminars I do at the Bucks County Comedy Cabaret in Doylestown. And all the information is either comedycabaret.com or drscarpati.com. I don't know if you have time. If anybody wants to call and ask me any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I don't have time. I'm leaving.
Okay.
This is the end of the program, but it was great having you on. Again, Dr. Scar. Hold on, hang up yet, drscarpati.com or go to comedycabaret.com for more information on that. But you're serious when you say this, because I know there's so many people out there listening to us right now. You can help people who wish to stop smoking.
Absolutely.
I got a friend that I know hasn't smoked for 15 years because of you, and he didn't even know that we knew each other.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I didn't recognize. I was sitting on a deck in Seattle City, and it came up, and I went, "What is the name again?" And he told me, and I said, "I've known. He's been a friend of mine for years." So this is not no radio junk here. You really did cure this person. So that's good. That's rewarding also for the same time for you.
It is. And what's interesting about it is anything a person does mentally, hypnotherapy can help them. Whether it's because smoking is just a habit. So anything mentally that they want to change about themselves, because I do a lot of sports enhancement. You look on my Dr. Scarpati website, you'll see testimonials from golfers on my website that I've helped with the yips and various types of.
No, they've been hypnotized anyway if they're golfing. Anyway,
hey,
Mama, I got to go.
I love that Cookie Rojas story, buddy.
Isn't that great?
That was awesome, man.
It's a true story. It's a true story. All right, take care.
Thanks a lot.